Hello, welcome to On Cue. My name's Sean Robertson, manager of the Florissant Civic Center Theater. For those of you not familiar with the On Cue show, we like to have company members from an upcoming production on to discuss the new show and inform you guys of what you might be seeing in the future at our theater. Today we're here to discuss the upcoming Alpha Players musical, Into the Woods. Now, Into the Woods is a musical with music and lyrics, by none other than Stephen Sondheim and book by James Lapine. The musical debuted on Broadway in November of 1987, where it won several Tony Awards, including Best Score, Best Book, and Best Actress in a Musical. The musical has since been produced many times, and many of you may remember the 2014 Disney musical with the all-star cast that it had. Today I'm glad to welcome one of the stars of the show and the director. We have Mia Porcelli, who's going to be playing Little Red Riding Hood, and director Sharon Cotner. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Let's get to know a little bit about our guests. I said you're going to be playing Little Red Riding Hood, and how did you initially become involved with the Alpha Players?
Well, my sister did a show at the Florissant Civic Center when she was really young. She was in Fiddler on the Roof, and I actually didn't get to see it, but ever since I was young, I did a lot of theater, like through community theater, because my sister and my dad did it.
Okay.
So.
And is this your first show with the Alpha Players?
Yes, this is my first show with the Alpha Players.
But you've been doing other community groups. Are you in high school, or are you out of high school?
Yes, I'm in high school. This is my senior year. I'll be graduating 2018.
And I mean, the typical St. Louis question is, where do you go to high school?
I go to high school at Parkway South High.
Parkway South, okay. That's Creve Coeur area or Chesterfield?
Yeah, it's like Des Peres, West County school.
You're going to be playing Little Red Riding Hood. It's your first show with the Alpha Players. Have you lived here in St. Louis your whole life? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know that you've done shows at your high school also. What other kind of shows have you done there?
Well, I was just involved in a show called Nevermore, The Imaginary Life and Mysterious Death of Edgar Allan Poe, and it ended up going to like our state thespian conference, and we performed it on the main stage, and we won an award for Best Ensemble, and we got nominated for Best Costume Design.
Excellent. Are you a member of the Thespians?
Yes, I am a part of the thespian troupe.
I was once upon a member of the Thespian Club in high school. Put in many hours stage managing shows. That's where I got the bulk of my hours, which is really easy when you're a stage manager.
That's true.
Some of the Into the Woods is really just a wonderful show. What can you tell us about Into the Woods? What should the audience know?
Well, there's two versions of Into the Woods.
Okay.
There's what I would call the regular version, and then there's the junior version. And the junior version stops at the end of Act 1.
Act 1, yes.
Yeah. And so what it is Sondheim and Lapine took several Grimm's fairy tales and they interlaced them with another fairy tale that they made up. And so the whole story is about a baker and a baker's wife who wish to...
And they're the key, they're sort of
the
key players.
Sort of the key players.
Yeah.
It's really an ensemble thing because when you go to watch it, you're going to see the scenes go shifting back and forth a lot. But they wish to have a child, and they find out that they've been cursed by the witch who just happens to live next door to them.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not a great neighborhood.
It's a rough neighborhood there in the woods.
And so anyhow, to get the curse reversed, they have to go into the woods and collect 4 items for the witch. And as they go into the woods, they encounter all these different fairy tale characters. And one of them is the cape is red as blood. Well, the cape turns out to be Red Riding Hood's cape.
Red Riding Hood's cape, yes.
The slipper as pure as gold turns out to be Cinderella's slipper.
Yeah.
The cow as white as milk turns out to be Jack and the Beanstalk's cow.
Yes.
And the hair as yellow as corn turns out to be Rapunzel's hair. So you have all of these other little fairy tales that pop up in there. And the whole first act is about them going on this journey into the woods and collecting these things. And all of the wishes that these people are hoping for. You know, Cinderella wishes to go to the festival. Jack wishes to be wealthy, the bakers wish to have a child, and what happens is they all get their wishes pretty much at the end of Act 1. And so it's like happily ever after. So the junior
That's how the junior show
junior
ends.
version stops with
That's
happily
great.
ever after.
All
They
right.
can't show the bad stuff.
No,
Yes.
and then you come back for Act 2, and it's what happens after.
Afterwards.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Giants.
giants, and the real world settle in, and they start bickering and fighting, and the baker's house is too small because now he has a kid, and it's just all of that kind of stuff. It's got some amazing music and amazing
Absolutely.
lyrics. The lyrics are, if you can read the lyrics, you'll really get the gist of the show. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in
Yes.
it, and in some ways I would describe it as sort of a cautionary tale.
Okay.
So it's a little funny, it's a little sad, it's a little
You're stealing some of my lines from later.
dangerous. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're great. No, that's,
No.
I was going to
But
say it's tragic with a sense of humor.
It is. It is. And I think a lot of people, the one thing that I would say, though, is that a lot of people need to realize that I think they come in thinking that it's going to be a happy fairy tale. And in Act 2, it really turns. And so it suddenly becomes reality and a little bit darker. So I like to prepare people for that, because otherwise they're really sort of shocked.
How do you go about casting the show?
Alpha's policy is that we hold open auditions. They're generally advertised on websites and on our Facebook page and our website. We will put an advertisement for it any place we think someone
Your
will look at
website's
it.
alphaplayers.org. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Mhm. And so, so we hold open auditions, and we've had so many people show up lately. We've been given appointments. So you get an appointment, you get an audition form, fill out the form, you bring a photo, and then you come and sing a song.
Okay.
And if it's a heavy dance show, you'll have to do a little dance, and then there's callbacks, and then we cast. So it's a pretty lengthy process.
How about, can you tell us about your auditioning?
My audition process?
Yes.
Well, I decided that I was going to audition a few weeks prior to like I found the page on Facebook that was like audition for Alpha Players Into the Woods, and I was like, that's one of my favorite shows. I'm going to audition for that because my dad's been in it a few times, and
Okay.
it's always been a show that I've wanted to be in. And so I was really stressed about it because you had to sing a song from the show, and I was like, I know it, but I feel like I don't know it. So I was really, really stressed about it. And then it happened, like the day came when I had to audition. I convinced my dad. I dragged my dad to the audition too. I like forced him to do it.
Did he audition?
He did. He didn't get in, but
He didn't get cast?
But that was the one thing he said, that if he got offered a role and I didn't, he wouldn't take it because like.
It's good parenting, right? there.
Right. But yeah, and so I went. I was really stressed. I sweat through all my clothes. I was and then they handed me a little slip of paper that was like, you got to call back, and I almost cried. I was so excited. It was pretty great.
Little Red is one of the great roles in the show. They're all really great roles. Some of them are absolutely stronger, parts in the show, than others. But there's a part for everybody. If you have a company of people, that it's just, you can find. There's just so many, diverse, different kind of things that people can play, and you have villains, but eventually maybe they're not villains, and you have, all these different kind of facets of characters. You have Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, you said Cinderella. There are two princes. There's even the stepsisters, and there's Jack and the Beanstalk's mother for a period of time, and there's the baker and the baker's wife, those were written specifically created for Into the Woods. Okay. What's been the most interesting thing, or memorable experience through like rehearsal, or anything that's stuck out that's been fun, or that you've enjoyed the most from both of you? I mean, from directing to performing.
Go ahead. It's a challenge, and I think the music is incredibly difficult to play. And I think one of the fun things is watching our rehearsal pianist try to play one of the songs at the tempo that Sondheim wrote it, which is just insane. It's just insane. And if we won't, there's no way we can do it that fast because none of the audience will know what we're saying.
Okay.
It is so fast.
Oh, who's the music director?
The music director is, the orchestra director is Tim Clark.
Tim Clark?
Uh-huh. And the vocal director is Becky Thorne.
I don't know if I know Becky.
Becky
Probably do.
Becky was vocal director when we did Les Miserables.
Okay.
And she's like the music department chair at St. Charles Community College. So she's very, very good. They're both good.
Tell us about some of your cast and crew. Any familiar faces in the cast that other people have seen in other Alpha shows? Or
yeah. There's quite a few. We have several people from 1776. Several of the men. John Mefford. We have the guy that played Richard Henry Lee, David Wicks. We have Kevin Hester, who is playing the baker. Julie LeBeau, who is the baker's wife, who did an Alpha show several years back. Let's see.
Jack Ryan.
Oh yeah, well Jack Ryan. PD is one of my assistant directors. Janet Manikas is the other assistant director. Monette Dennis is our choreographer. She's done our shows before.
Absolutely.
Our sound people we had a new lighting designer, which should be fun.
New lighting designer.
Yeah, we found one. And a lot of the actors.
Is Brian doing sound?
Brian will do sound.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And let's see, Nori, who was has been in a lot of our shows, Dearly Beloved and Les Mis. Gabby, who was just in Hawthorne, not Hawthorne, Harvey. What else? There's just a lot of people that
and it's a large cast too.
Yes, there's about 24, 25 people. So
it's all,
there's no chorus though.
Yes,
they
all become
it's
the
an
chorus
ensemble
at
show.
times.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's pure ensemble.
Can you tell us about the set?
The set's going to be simple.
Okay.
It's it's not going to look like realistic woods. It's going to be sort of abstract and a lot of multi-levels, and we're going to ask the audience to use their imagination a little. And I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be spooky, which is what the woods are supposed to be a little bit, and I think it'll be fun. I think the audience will really enjoy it.
What else did I want to ask? Well, I asked you about the rehearsal and the audition. I did want to also mention that you guys have another audition coming up, don't you, for Odd Couple? I had a date for November 13th. I didn't know if you wanted to put that out there.
I know the date is on our website, and I know it's in November, but I don't remember what date it was. So they could check the Alpha Players Facebook page because I always post the stuff out there.
The Odd Couple is the next show in your season.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be in not till
March.
Until March.
Yeah.
And that's the Neil Simon play that's often a favorite. Into the Woods is a wonderful musical experience, and we've said the music is beautiful. And yes, I was going to say tragic and humorous. I'm going to say it one more time. It has a really good mix of humor, and it can be silly at times, and some wild things happen in that show. It opens in October and runs through 2 weekends, starting on Friday the 6th and 7th, and at 7:30 p.m., and October 13th and 14th also at 7:30, and closes on Sunday, October the 15th with a 2 p.m. matinee. Admission is $20 for adults, $18 for seniors and students, with $12 for children 12 and under, and there are some group rates available. I don't have those group rates in front of me at the moment, but that's all right, because you can call and ask for ticket reservations at our box office, which is open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Area code 314-921-5678. Visit us online, www.florissantmo.com. Check out the Alpha Players at alphaplayers.org. And last thing I just want to say before we close out is the Alpha Players are made up of volunteers. Everyone volunteers their time in order to do these shows. They take time off from their lives, their work, hopefully not too much from work, and from their families, to present your professional quality theater right here in Florissant. And I want you to remember that the arts are, a gateway to education and culture. And, please come out and support the arts in our community right here, and also stand up against those who would remove the arts from and take those arts away. Thanks again, Sharon, Mia, for being here, and to the Alpha players. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the calendar segment. Thanks for joining me on the calendar section. The Florissant Fine Arts Council is back. At last, we are ready to share with you the exciting 43rd season of the Applause series. This is a remarkable 5-show lineup. The season spans the funny to the dramatic, the musical to the comical, and is full of all-around quality entertainment. We'll start the season with I Love a Piano from Starvox Booking, Sunday, January 28th, that's 2018, at 3 p.m. I Love a Piano is a nostalgic musical journey spanning 7 decades of American history as seen through the eyes of Irving Berlin. There's also some Gershwin mixed in there. The show tracks the life of a piano through 4 generations of singers and dancers who have performed with and around it, and over 60 of Berlin's enduring and popular favorites. This spectacular new show captures the spirit of America. In February, just in time for Valentine's Day, we will have My Funny Valentine from Sweetwood Creative, Sunday, February 11th at 3 p.m. Are you looking for the perfect Valentine's Day night? Join comedians Pat Hazel, one of the original writers of NBC's Seinfeld, and veteran of The Tonight Show, and Dina Blizzard, featured comic at the Laugh Factory and Gotham Comedy Club, as they come together for an evening of hilarious and heartwarming stand-up comedy. Topics include relationships, dating, parenting, and family life. There will be even a chance to ask the 2 comedians for free relationship advice as Pat and Dina answer questions from the audience after the show, and actually during the show. In March, I've Got a Little Twist from CMI Entertainment, Saturday, March 3rd at 7:30 p.m. I've Got a Little Twist is where the Mikado meets the Music Man, where HMS Pinafore sets sails for Brigadoon, where the Pirates of Penzance takes to the shore leave on the town. It's a one-of-a-kind show that proves that Gilbert and Sullivan's repertoire is fun, fresh, and full of life. See for yourself as the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players celebrate the legacy of Gilbert and Sullivan in American musical theater, featuring favorites from Rodgers and Hammerstein, Bernstein, Sondheim, Lerner and Loewe, and many more. In April, the Baby Boomer Comedy Show from Main Stage Artist Management, Sunday, April 15th, 3 p.m. The Baby Boomer Comedy Show is a hilarious 90-minute theater event with clean humor on topics that the boomer generation can relate to: family, kids, work, do-it-yourself projects, dieting, aging, and more. Then we will close the season in April with Othello from the National Players, Sunday, April 29th at 1:30 p.m. This classic tale of identity, bigotry, and deceit is examined with contemporary clarity, combining Shakespeare's language with modern clothing to transform the drama into a powerful story for America today. Now, coming up in October, we will have the Alpha Players presenting Into the Woods, a Stephen Sondheim musical, October 6th and 7th at 7:30 p.m., October 13th and 14th at 7:30, and October 15th at 2 p.m. The Brothers Grimm hit the stage with an epic fairy tale about wishes, family, and the choices we make. The story follows the baker and his wife, Jack and the Beanstalk with his cow Milky White, Cinderella, and witches and wolves to be had. There's some princes along the way, as well as Cinderella and Rapunzel also join the mix. Admission is $20 for adults, $18 for seniors and students, $12 for children 12 and under. Also in October, Dayspring School for the Arts presents the classical ballet Napoli, October 20th and 21st at 7 p.m. It's the story of a small town struck by tragedy and the young man who has the courage to maintain hope against all odds. Admission is $12 for adults, $8 for children 12 and under. The North Winds Concert Band, under the direction of Larry Marsh, will present From Sea to Shining Sea. The concert will celebrate the landscapes of America, both in time and place. North Winds is especially pleased to welcome violin soloist and Florissant native, Leah McGowan Poe. Leah will join the band for Miklos Rosas' beautiful score for the 1970 film The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. She'll be featured in lovely sentimental works by Italian composer Enrico Toselli and in John Williams' haunting theme from Schindler's List. Music and Broadway and film will round out the program. North Winds is a program of the Ferguson Florissant's Marketing and Communications Department. And Maestro Marsh is celebrating his 51st year in association with the school district, including 35 years as conductor of the North Winds Ensemble. I'm sure he's really happy I'm mentioning all that. And for more information, you can be found at www.northwindsband.org. Admission is $8 for adults, $6 for seniors and students, and that'll be on October 22nd at 3 p.m. In November, the Hawthorne Players will present The Spitfire Grill, a musical, November 3rd and 4th at 7:30, November 10th and 11th at 7:30, and November 12th at 2 p.m. Percy Talbot is trying to find a place for a fresh start and ends up in a small town of Gilead, Wisconsin. The local sheriff finds her a job at the only eatery in the struggling town, and the Spitfire Grill has been for sale for at least 10 years. Percy suggests the gruff owner, Hannah, try raffling it off, and the entry fee is $100 and an essay on why you want to buy the grill. This musical is an inspiring celebration of new beginnings and the power of what one person can do. And I've worked on this show before, and it's a wonderful musical with beautiful music and a really nice story. Admission is $20 for adults, $18 for seniors and students. Also coming up this fall, we will have the Fall Festival in Old Town Florissant. We will have Bob Cuban's Brass playing at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock p.m. on October the 8th. You're not going to want to miss the Fall Festival coming up real soon, October the 8th. The St. Louis Family Theater Series will begin once again in November with a title of two things that I love very much, Dragons Love Tacos, from TheaterWorks USA from New York, New York. November 19th, November 24th, and 25th at 2 p.m. TheaterWorks USA's newest musical review includes beloved contemporary children's books, Dragons Love Tacos by Adam Rubin, Interrupting Chicken by David Ezra Stein, The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds, Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride by Kate DiCamillo, Cowgirl Kate and Coco School Days by Erica Silverman, and all of these tales are included in Dragons Love Tacos. Admission is $8 to all, but get yourself a season ticket for all 4 shows for just $24. You don't want to miss that deal, and it's great for the kids. After the shows, we have the actors come out and meet with the kids, and there's always an arts and crafts in the lobby for the kids to do before the show that pertains to the performance itself. Coming up in this holiday season, we've got a great lineup of shows. The Alpha Players are going to be doing the best Christmas pageant ever. Midwest Ballet Theater will present the first act of Nutcracker. North Winds Band will present a hometown holiday special. The Hawthorne Players, Best of Hawthorne Cowboy Christmas. You're not going to want to miss that one. That's a great one. St. Louis Brass Band Holiday Spectacular. Next Generation Theater presents A Christmas Carol, so we have all these great holiday shows for you lined up. And then we'll begin the new year with, once again, another St. Louis Family Theater series from TheaterWorks USA, Henry and Mudge. You're not going to want to miss these great shows that we have in store for you. The Florissant Fine Arts Council presents its Applause series with financial support from the members of the Missouri Arts Council, the Boeing Employees Community Fund, and the City in Florissant. And the St. Louis Family Theater Series greatly acknowledges support from the City of Florissant, American Eagle Credit Union, Missouri Arts Council, and the Regional Arts Commission. Give us a call, order tickets online. Our box office is open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can call us at area code 314-921-5678 and visit us online at www.florissantmo.com. Thanks for watching. Come out and see a show.